Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtotrishata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtotrishata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai Grantaraj srimadbhagavatam Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Fourth canto, Creation of the Fourth Order, Chapter 16, Praise of King Prithu by the professional reciters, and we're on text 26. Okay. Tatta tatra girastasta iti vishruta vikramaha shosyat yama shitagata Prithu parakramaha Tatra tatra girasthastha iti vishruta vikramaha shosyat yatmashitagata Prithu Parakramaha Tatra Tatra Girastasta Iti Vishruta Vikramaha Shosyat Yatma Shitagata Pritu Parakramaha Tatra Tatra. Here and there. Giraha. Words. Ta ta. Many, various. Iti. Thus. Vishruta Vikramaha. He whose chivalrous activities are widely reputed. Shosyati. Will hear. Atma Ashitaha. About himself. Gataha. Songs. Narrations. Pritu. King Pritu. Pritu Parakramaha. Distinctly powerful. Translation. In this way, when the chivalrous activities of King Prithu come to be known to the people in general, King Prithu will always hear about himself and his uniquely powerful activities. Purport. To artificially advertise oneself and thus enjoy a so-called reputation is a kind of deceit. King Prithu Maharaj was famous amongst the people because of his chivalrous activities. He did not have to advertise himself artificially. One's factual reputation cannot be covered. So I'll just read the one more, which is the last verse of this chapter. So tomorrow you'll be starting a new chapter, Mukunda, Charan, and Jamal. All right. No one will be able to disobey the orders of Prithu Maharaj. After conquering the world, he will completely eradicate the threefold miseries of the citizens. Then he will be recognized all over the world. At that time, both the Suras and the Asuras will undoubtedly glorify his magnanimous activities. Purport. At the time of Maharaj Prithu, the world was ruled by one emperor, although there were many subordinate states. Just as there are many United States in various parts of the world, in olden days the entire world was ruled through many states, but there was a supreme emperor who ruled over all subsidiary states. As soon as there were some discrepancies in the maintenance of the Varnashram system, the emperor would immediately take charge of the small states. The word Bhatita Loka Shalaha indicates that Maharaj Prithu completely uprooted all the miseries of his citizens. The word Shalya means piercing thorns. There are many kinds of miserable thorns that pierce the citizens of a state, but all competent rulers, even up to the reign of Maharaj Yudhishthira, uprooted all the miserable conditions of the citizens. It is stated that during the reign of Maharaj Yudhishthira, there did not even exist severe cold or scorching heat, nor did the citizens suffer from any kind of mental anxiety. This is the standard of good government. Such a peaceful and prosperous government, devoid of anxiety, was established by Prithu Maharaj. Thus, the inhabitants of both saintly and demonic planets were all engaged in glorifying the activities of Maharaj Prithu. Persons or nations anxious to spread their influence over the world should consider this point. If one is able to eradicate completely the threefold miseries of the citizens, he should aspire to rule the world. One should not aspire to rule for any political or diplomatic consideration. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 4th canto, 16th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Praise of King Prithu by the professional reciters. Do you think you could please get a songbook, Glenn, for me? Om Ganativedandasya Kananjana Shalakaya Chakshudan Militam Yena Tasma Shri Gurave Namaha Kam Karitavachalam Pangam Langate Gidim Yakipatamaham Vande Shri Gurun Diditaranam Vanshaka Padribishta Kriva Sindhu Bevicha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Thank you. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. There's the Shad Goswami, right? Ashtaka. And there's some verses within this song that reminded me of Prithu Maharaj when we were reading about Prithu Maharaj. What's that, Javita Prabhu? It says that they're no, I'm looking in the Shad Goswami Ashka where it talks about them singing about Krishna and oh really? Oh, okay. Oh, okay, so it's the third verse, yeah. Yeah. So I was thinking about the first and the third verse of that. So we'll get into that in a minute. Yeah. 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 So yeah, one doesn't. There's many people. They think that certain things are just by nature just evil. I mean, sometimes people think this world by nature is just absolutely evil. And they think, oh, money is evil, and they think, right, on and on and on. They think so many things are evil. People. Yeah, some people think we're evil, every bit, right? I think many people actually think we're evil. At least within other fanatical CTS, fanatic sects, they think we're evil. They think we're crazy, evil, wrong, worshiping the devil. But really when it comes down to it, a lot of these things, most of the things that people actually think are evil are actually not evil, they're actually good. But how people go about acquiring these different things, or their desires for these things, can be evil. Just like money. I mean, there's nothing wrong with money. Money is good. You could do so many wonderful things with money. I mean, we are building that TOVP temple. That takes a lot of money. Or this temple, it's, the lights being on and this and that and so many things. It has money, right? So, but how one gets the money, if one becomes too greedy for money, then yeah, there could be some problems in that realm of how one gets it, and one's becoming way too greedy to have it, or too greedy to have it. So when here it's mentioning Prithu Maharaj's reputation because of his chivalrous activities, because he was such a powerful king, he had a good reputation, he was famous, everyone knew him. But Srila Prabhupada says that in the purport that to artificially advertise oneself and thus enjoy a so-called reputation is a kind of deceit. And he said that he didn't have to advertise himself artificially. One's factual reputation cannot be covered. So, over time, everybody knows, practically speaking, the nature of a particular individual. Why? Because it comes out over time. They say that you put a dog on a throne, and as soon as you throw a bone, the dog jumps off and goes for the bone. So it might be a very nice throne. You put a dog on a vyasa, and then you throw a bone and he jumps off and gets it. So it's just the nature of the dog to do that, or nature of dogs to do that. They can't hide themselves. So people could only hide themselves so long before their real nature comes out. How you feel about somebody, you could only hide so long, right? Whether you like the person, whether you don't like the person, whether you love the person, whether you hate the person, whatever, you could only hide it for so long. The true emotions come out. So, but especially in terms of having a good reputation, a saintly reputation, and if one's advertising himself or herself as such, but they're just doing it artificially, then that's not good. Because in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that is a demoniac tendency or quality. And what does he say in the Bhagavad Gita? Right? The divine and demonic nature. He says, the demoniac person thinks, oh, so much charity I've given today, and what else? I shall, what? I conquered that enemy, I conquered another one. I'll give in charity, and I'll be known as a good person. And I'm the master, and I got a wonderful family, and everything, and it's all about them. And specifically, they want to be known as a good person, even though they're not. So we shouldn't want to be known as a good person, and knowing very well that we may not be. But we should want to be a good person. Not that we should want to be a good person just for reputation's sake. Oh, I just want to be known as a good person. No, we shouldn't want that. That's not good. That's false. That's artificial. But we should want to be a good person. Means we should want to be a good devotee. We should want to be a pure devotee for Krishna's happiness, for our spiritual master's happiness, not for some cheap popularity. Oh, I'm a good devotee. I'm a great devotee. Look at me. Look what I'm doing. Well, who cares what you're doing? Nobody, if it's artificial or false. That includes Krishna. He also doesn't care if it's artificial or false, because they're not. It's when somebody's not really being real in a relationship, then the other person in the relationship doesn't really care. I mean, it's just cheap. Superficial people, but real, they don't really care for that. It's a botheration. So we shouldn't want to advertise ourselves as, to enjoy reputation as great devotees or something like that, or whatever. But we should, again, just try to be good devotees, pure devotees, for Krishna's pleasure, for Krishna's happiness. So that's important. And to let things kind of naturally, organically manifest. So it's not that Prabhupada came to America and he told all of his disciples, okay, I'm here, I'm your guru, bow down to me and offer me garlands and, build me nice vyasasans at every single temple and, all these different things. He didn't do that. And name me Prabhupada, by the way, that's the highest honorific title that you could ever give any guru, period. So you should give me that title immediately. Prabhupada didn't do that. Everything was very organically, everything very organically manifested. People's love, people's affection for Srila Prabhupada, people's service mentality towards Srila Prabhupada, everything manifested very organically. He didn't demand anything. But people naturally gave him what they should, respect and all that. And that's actually how things should be. It's not that one should be clawing their way up to the top, like it's some nasty corporation. ISKCON isn't a nasty corporation. I mean, some people think it is, but people who have faith in Prabhupada and his followers don't think it is. But if one, I'm going to claw my way up to the top, whatever that means in people's minds, I don't know. You take second initiation, you become a temple president, you become a sannyasi or guru, or I don't know. God knows what people have in their minds, but so it's not just like an ordinary national corporation where you're climbing our way to the top, so you could be on the top of the dog pile or something, the big dog on top. But we may want to do those things. We may want to be, or naturally those things may manifest. Naturally, someone may become a temple president. Okay, good. Naturally, someone takes second initiation. Okay, good. Naturally, people may be given respect. Okay, good. Naturally, one may become a sannyasi. Okay, good. Naturally, one, and on and on and on. Guru, so on. But it's not that one should be, trying to fight, claw their way up to the top and, artificially do all that for the wrong reasons. So those things aren't evil of themselves, to take on specific positions of service and to have respect and whatever, and so on. Those aren't evil in themselves. But if we try to artificially, knowing very well we're not qualified, accept such positions for the wrong reasons, then it is evil and it is wrong. So Prithu Maharaj didn't have to do that. He just naturally. He was powerful, he was a king, he was fired up. And people saw that, and people respected that, and it was completely natural. It wasn't like he wasn't demanding. So that's important, that we let things naturally manifest. Now, of course, nowadays we will never find a king like Prithu Maharaj, not even close. But we'll find the opposite throughout the world. People aren't qualified in the ways Prithu Maharaj was qualified. And specifically it says here that he eradicated the threefold miseries of the citizens. And even Yudhishthira Maharaj did that too. It said the weather also. Maharaj Yudhishthira did not, when he was ruling, the severe cold or scorching heat, none of this existed. Nor did the citizens suffer from mental anxiety. So, it's quite the opposite now. People are suffering scorching heat, right, throughout the country, throughout the world. People are suffering severe cold throughout the country, throughout the world, and everybody's in mental anxiety. So, quite the opposite from Maharaj Yudhishthira's Hare Krishna. Maharaj Yudhishthira's reign. R-E-I-G-N, reign. So that may sound very attractive to us. Oh, great! Hey, if we just get a good leader, then all my miseries will be gone. That sounds wonderful. Then I don't got to do anything. He does it all or she does it all, and that's it. But it doesn't exactly work like that. One may have a qualified leader, or one may have qualified leaders, or one may not have qualified leaders. But a particular person's suffering or misery, really, although it is stated here that because of their leadership, certain things weren't there, but really when it comes down to it, the individuals have to be, you could say, qualified also to accept the mercy. So, like Srila Prabhupada, he had a son, and as far as I've heard, that the son, he struggled a lot. He suffered a lot, he struggled a lot, like materially, even though he's Prabhupada's son. And Advaitacharya, or I think it was Advaitacharya's son. So, you may have qualified leaders, you may have qualified parents, you may have qualified guru, but it really, the individual has to take the mercy. So for example, here it says about the 6 Goswamis. It says, I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis, namely Srila Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who are very much enriched in understanding Lord Chaitanya and who are thus expert in narrating his transcendental qualities. They can purify all conditioned souls from the reactions of their sinful activities by pouring upon them transcendental songs about Govinda. As such, they are very expert and increased in the limits of the ocean of transcendental bliss, and they are the saviors of the living entities from the devouring mouths of impersonal liberation. Now, so we have this information here. Devotees worldwide have this information. That by accepting the songs of Govinda, by listening to the songs of the 6 Goswamis about Krishna, then they are purifying the souls from the reaction of their sinful activities, and they are increasing the devotees' transcendental bliss. In other words, they're completely eradicating people's misery. So we have that information. All over the world, devotees have. Now, if devotees want to, listen to Michael Jackson, or they want to listen to, Prince, or they want to listen to, whatever other interesting personalities, whatever other type of media is out there, if they want to subject themselves to whatever media is out there, not just in the realm of songs, but in the realm of so many things, then that is their option. That is their choice. But so we have that free will, and we have to make up the choice. We have to make up our minds. do we want Krishna or do we not want Krishna? And, sometimes we want Krishna to a particular degree. 50%, 20%, 10%, 5%. Sometimes, throughout the days, throughout the months, we want Krishna to certain degrees, we want illusion to certain degrees. So we have to increase our desire to have Krishna more and more and more until it's 100%. We just want Krishna. And yeah, that could, take some time and be a little challenging, but that is the goal. Apparently, Gunagrai Swami, so I was thinking about this because the miseries, it says that Prithu Maharaj eradicated the miseries, so this is what the Goswamis are doing too. They're eradicating the miseries of their followers. So, Gunagrai Swami, there was one devotee here in the congregation. I was going to say her name, but then I decided not to, so maybe she wouldn't like it if I said or something. But anyways, so he would go and preach, there'd be like a program at her house, and this was many years ago, and she'd have like a tape of, I don't know, some singer, I don't know who it was, Michael Jackson or Led Zeppelin or whoever it was, I don't know. So she'd have this tape. So what Maharaj did is anyways, one day she was listening to this tape, and she was like really getting into it, and then it kind of stopped. And then Gunagrai Swami's voice came on, and he said, "Oh, so-and-so," he said, "Oh, you're listening to this, but you should be listening to Kirtan." He said, "You're in Maya." So, and then she was kind of shocked, and then, "Oh, I can't believe he did that," It was his voice, so. It's kind of an interesting thing to do. Funny. So it's our choice. So the idea is we want to develop more and more attraction for Krishna consciousness, and that is considered to be a healthy condition. And to be attracted to this world, it's a bad choice. So also it says here that the suras means the godly people, and the asuras, the ungodly people, or the Prabhu said the demons or the demigods, or however, the non-devotees or devotees. It said that both of them were praising Prithu Maharaj. So he must have been quite an impressive person. So this also reminded me of the 6 Goswamis, because it says that they are just like an ocean of love of God, and they are popular with both the gentle and the ruffians, because they're not envious of anyone. Whatever they do, they're all pleasing to everyone, and they're fully blessed by Lord Chaitanya. So, the 6 Goswamis, Prithu Maharaj, pure devotee, they are popular amongst the ruffians and the gentle. In other words, people like them because they could feel that this person's not trying to exploit me, this person's not trying to lord it over me, this person's not trying to get anything from me, and so on. They feel that, people. So therefore they like the devotees. And my spiritual master, he said he was at the chiropractor office somewhat recently, and he was laying there or whatever, and his doctor told him that later on a patient commented to the doctor about him, and he said that, "Oh, that person, I just felt so much like affection just kind of like pouring from him." Like, he didn't talk with him, he said he felt so much like acceptance, like, he's so accepting of me. Even though he didn't talk with him, just like his energy, And also it's kind of funny, he was there also at a different time at the same office, and the doctor's young child, she was like 7 years old or something, young girl, she said to her dad, she said, oh, he said, oh, that Giriraj, he's quite an interesting person, and I think he's a man of God, something like that. But, she didn't really know. So, people have that sense. So yeah, this should be a source of inspiration for us that in the past there were such kings as Maharaj Prithu and the 6 Goswamis and personalities like that, and even now. So we should try to take inspiration from their examples, and follow in their footsteps as far as possible, and not be sidetracked by all the the glitter of this world. It says that everything, there's a saying that everything that glitters is not gold. So just because this world seems very wonderful, maybe on certain levels, it's behind it. It's actually not what it seems to be. Just like people's bodies. I mean, people say, "Oh, very handsome," or whatever, this or that. But I mean, what's beyond? What's in the body? How is that handsome? What's in the body or beautiful? It's not. It's not. And actually, Prabhupada would say the body's dead. Like each time, like devotees have been garlanding me the last few times I give class, and each time they put a garland on me, I feel like they're putting a garland on a dead body. For some reason, I have that. I don't know why, but yeah, the body is dead actually, and the only reason it's seems to be alive is because of the soul animating it. So Krishna consciousness is gold, and Krishna consciousness is beyond gold, and Krishna consciousness is real. And all the other things, the love and the friendship and the materialistic love and materialistic friendship and society, all these different types of things, these are actually just Maya, false. And they're actually not what we think they are. It means under illusion. They're actually not what we think they are. So yeah, we want to not be sidetracked by that. So we have to take shelter of such personalities as Maharaj Prithu, 6 Goswamis. We could take shelter of them by hearing about them. That's why they're here. That's why they're here in the Bhagavatam, so we could hear about them, gain inspiration, meditate on them, and this way have a good chance of making a beeline to Krishna Prem. A beeline, beeline? Go straight. Yeah, don't take any detours, just beeline, means straight. Or they also say, busy as a bee. I read something the other day. It said bees, what is it? Anyways, they collect so much, yeah. Yeah, they're so busy. Anyways, I find the quote, but they're super busy, like busy. They said busy as a bee. So that's how we should be in Krishna consciousness. We should be busy. Always something to do. For the mind, for the body, for other people, we should be busy. Prabhupada was always busy. Look at his life, he was always busy. Pure devotees, they're always busy. So we have to become busy in Krishna consciousness, or else, it's just too much time for the mind to do its thing, which means keeps us very nicely caged up in the prison house of the material world. So we want to be busy, busy as a bee, so we could relish the nectar of Krishna consciousness. So does anyone have any questions or comments? Please place the bee of my restless mind on the honey of your lotus feet.
Oh Krishna, dearest Lord, I bow to you and then entreat. Please place the bee of my restless mind on the honey of your lotus feet. It's a song by Rupa Goswami. Anyway, I just wanted to make an editorial comment.
Okay.
The saying that you referred to, which you said is everything that glitters is not gold,
Yes.
is actually the Vaishnav version of that.
Mm.
Because the actual saying is, all that glitters is not gold.
Okay.
Meaning, not everything that glitters is gold.
Mhm.
You understand? Some things are gold, but don't be fooled. There's something called fool's gold. You know? You ever see that in the shell? You know.
Yeah, I got.
So,
I've had experience with
but you stated it wrong. But actually, you stated it right for our vision. That everything that glitters, even if it might be gold, is ultimately not valuable. Is gold in the sense of having some intrinsic value spiritually. You see the difference? Everything that glitters is not gold. In other words, there's no gold, quote, gold in this material world.
Yeah.
You have to go to the spiritual world. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting because you quoted that. I looked it up I Googled it, and it had everything that glitters is not gold. But when you actually look at it in Wikipedia, it's all that glitters is not gold, which means some things are. Don't be fooled by the things that look like glitter but aren't gold. You understand what I'm saying? Anyway, just one.
All right, thank you. All that glitters is not gold. Fool's gold. We had a lot of that. They sell that. It's quite cheap. Fool's gold. Yeah, they sell it. Yeah, I remember because we were in Oregon. In Oregon, there's a. It's actually quite pleasant, but there's a river that goes through. Rogue River, it's called. Anyways, and a bunch of rogues swimming in there. But anyways, Rogue River, very nice river, very pure, and But quite common, what people do is they're down there with their pans, and they're trying to pan some gold. And, they find a little bit, and it's kind of like a hobby, just going down there camping. And so, but sometimes at the local stores, they have, a bunch of, because they're also tourist attractions, a bunch of stuff there, shirts and this and that. And they have a little basket, a bunch of fool's gold in it. It looks all shiny and this and that, but it's just some cheap, whatever. So we have to go for the real, so. All right. Grantraj, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.